All right, so we're currently in A plus territory. A plus setups mean that we have four metrics that align. The daily bias matches the signal that has been provided. Then we have a trend and some green momentum that represents money in the market. So what does that all mean? Well, this is what you got to understand. With the four metric system, if a daily bias is bearish, then you're looking for a sell signal. We received not one, but two sell signals that are still in play because the take profit one hasn't been hit, the stop losses haven't been hit, take profit two haven't been hit. So that opens up the door for opportunity as it relates to A plus territory. Now, I would have entered, but I wanted to come in and start doing the recording. So I'm gonna go ahead and enter the trade. See, me trying to look out for y'all caused me to miss out on that big drop because I knew it was A plus territory, but I wanted to paint a picture of because it just hit take profit one. Sometimes if it's not all four metrics, meaning the daily bias showing bearish, sell signal, red trending, I want that to be green. That represents A plus. However, if you see all of these conditions aligning, plus what I'm about to show you, it's still considered a great setup. You just might want to take your profits sooner. So it did hit the take profits one, but these are the further confirmations that make this an A plus setup as well, including but not limited to the four metrics, because the green was there initially when I saw the trade, so I could have ended there with confidence and then just kind of still let it play out, knowing that the gray might still show up. But these are the other two confirmation pieces. And again, we're trading 1 ounce gold. The other two confirmation pieces that confirms the thought of placing a sell is if you compare the 1 hour chart, the 1 hour chart is also bearish. If you look in the upper right hand corner, it has also received two sell signals, the A plus sell setup, as well as the sell VWAP. And when you compare to the hour, so that lets you know it's showing signs of the price going down even further, and the take profit is even further down. So it's still a good opportunity to enter the trade because that confirms it. And another good place to compare to, and it's different time frame. Sometimes I compare the 4 hour, but let's look at the 1 day. Like, what is the daily chart saying? Because when you look at the larger time frames, it's more accurate than the shorter time frames. And I know it's a lot going on in this side right here, since I'm on the phone, but it's also bearish. It's also showing signs of going down. So all of those things paint a picture of, okay, the daily buy says bearish, the hourly says bearish. I need to be looking for sales instead of trying to, plan a reversal that may not happen. So you just have to use what you can in order to decide, okay, is this a good trade overall in general? And that is what positions it to be a good A plus setup. And this is definitely showing signs of that. So what I would do in this scenario is actually place a trade, but I'm going to let it bounce back up here a little bit. And then I feel it's going to make its way back down here. Because remember, the market doesn't always go down. As you know, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So even though it touched that take profit here, this take profit is still in play from the other sell signal. And it can still go further. It can still go further and revisit these areas because it's not much blocking it. Once it passes through this box here, it has runway to get down to this area, I believe. Now, could take some time, but the possibilities are there. So that being said, let's open up the paper trading just so I can be in position, because this is the demo account that I'm trading, but I'm teaching as I'm learning, and as I learn, I get better at being confident in knowing, okay, this can help a lot of people, having this 4 metric system, knowing when to buy, when to sell. If you want access to the tool, it's available in the description. But I just want to show you what the thought process is behind finding A plus setups, because you may see a lot of different things happening, but you need to be able to say, okay, what validates this? The 4 metrics. That's one way. Looking at higher time frames, that's an added way to go about doing it. And now that positions you to have a higher success, higher probability, which is what everybody wants when it comes to trading. Now, sometimes what I would still do is wait for this bar right here to turn green. But since we have those additional factors at play, the daily matches the hourly, matches this, and for the sake of this video, us getting some motion, getting some action, seeing some numbers change, Then I'll go ahead and place the sell. It shows that I have 3 contracts. And with 1 ounce gold, it tends to move a little slower, meaning that, it's not going to show that it's making a lot of money if you don't have a lot of contracts set up. However, that doesn't mean it can't perform very well with higher contracts and if you stay in the trade longer, because staying in the trade longer oftentimes puts you in a higher position for profits, but you just got to, monitor it depending on your account size and knowing when to cut your losses if it starts to go in the opposite direction. So we placed the sell, 3 contracts, still on 1 ounce gold, still on the 2-minute time frame, because I felt all of those things aligned. It's not green momentum right here, but the A plus came from the fact that I compared the hourly, remember, as well as the daily, and it shows signs of going down. And on the daily, or one of the charts, it had it going down pretty significant. Pretty significant. That said, it was a plus setup from that angle. So just keep that in mind. There's multiple ways to locate an A plus setup. This is just one. So I'm going to see how this trade plays out, and that way you can see how this confirmed the A plus setup. I told you, I feel like if it goes through this box right here, this gray box serves as some form of support, meaning it keeps wanting to bounce off of it. But if it breaks through that box, it's nothing else blocking it into all the way down here. Doesn't mean it's going to drop straight down there. No, not necessarily. Can it? It can. Could it go up and down, up and down, up and down and take a while before it gets down here? Absolutely. You just never know what the market does. You just have to, respond to what the market showed you. It showed me hourly, daily, bearish, multiple, not just one, multiple sell signals. Because keep in mind, we had a reverse sell signal up here, another confirmation sell signal right here. Then on the other charts, sell signal, sell signal. So if I would have had more in this account, or not necessarily more in this account, more contracts, then for some people, this is easily $100, $1,000 in this short time frame. And I've only been recording this portion of the video for 7 minutes and only been in the trade for maybe 4 minutes, if that. So this could easily be, if you move the decimal, this could have been a $1,200 move for certain people, with still a lot more runway to go. A lot more runway. I told you, if it breaks through that box, I feel like it has potential to, go down further and create some large bars. And right now is, that's what it's doing. And then if you look at it, you can see that each of these bars is constantly pushing down. So it's just a matter of time before that green momentum kicks in right there and just shows us signs of pushing through. Because just right there, just hit that take profit. I can honestly close this and just let you know that, hey, the A plus metric system does work. Or I can stay in and wait it out. But sometimes I just cut it short for the sake of the video. And sometimes I pause it and let you see, how it ends. But I just want you to get good at understanding and recognizing A plus setups. A plus setups. That's what you're looking for. A plus setups. Got the 4 metrics aligning, the higher time frames aligning, multiple sell signals aligning, and then higher take profit points on the higher trades or the higher time frames, which means if you want to get to those levels, sometimes you might have to stay in the trade longer. But nonetheless, it was an A plus setup because of those things. And then guess what? Green momentum just entered back into the market. And that's what I mentioned. I said it's just a matter of time for green momentum enters back into the market. Right now, of course, it's going in the upward direction. But a lot of times when that momentum comes right there in that green bar, it lets you know, okay, we got enough action to push it in the favored direction. Of course, it can always go in the opposite direction in reverse. And sometimes the green comes and goes. But it's a good sign. Based on my experience, when that green shows up, it's a good sign that it can push on down to that next level. But sometimes the market has to play with you a little bit and tease you a little bit and go up and down, up and down. And then, it tricks people out of their spot and they cut their trade sooner than they should have, when if they would have just waited another candle, it could have pushed down a little bit further. All right, I paused it for the sake of the video. I knew I was going to hold on a little longer, but it's doing what I thought it would do. And now it's pushing past that take profit one to the point where it's starting to, get comfortable there. And I could easily close the trade. I will for the sake of the video. But just understand that When you have multiple things that you're looking at, that positions you to have an A+ setup, and that's what you're looking for. A+ setups only, and that gives you the confidence that you need in order to know when to buy, when to sell. And then if you're open to trading off the higher time frame, sometimes you can stay in trades much longer and position yourself for more profits. And of course, higher contracts help you position yourself to make more money, but you got to be mindful because it can position you to lose more money. It actually hit the take profit too and everything as well. So it's doing exactly what I thought it would do. I just wanted to end this video to show you how the A+ setups work and how I'm thinking about it, what I'm looking at, time frames, etc. on this journey. That being said, if you want access to the tool so you can have confidence in the market, then it'll be a link available on the page, on the description, somewhere down below. Mr. Smith, signing out. So